Hello, everyone. I wanted to do a behind the scenes look at writing a new book. If sorry for the at least I didn't say right, right, right. Am I right yet? I these verbal crutches, trying to do better. At any rate, now that I'm still doing on purpose as an inside joke. Segue. At any rate, you may have seen my video exclusive the other day where I mentioned I am working on now a fourth book in the Life and Living series. Yes, which terror strikes the shirt I'm wearing. Uh, Reverse image is a part of, but it's not a traditional series in like a Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan set of novels where it's the same lead character, the same right. I did it. I said right. Or Harry Potter, where it's the same band of merry magicians. Wizards, goes through the whole series of books and you follow them from one book to the next. This Life and Living series, as defined on Amazon, including Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You, the Book of Kennedy Project Carpe Diem, that's the hard copy version, or a short story, A Lasting Legacy, also the hard copy version, also the title, a bit of a misnomer. A short story refers to Ryan, the main character's life cut shorter than our normal, there's an our normal lifespans of today. It's actually a novelette, was the thought I was going there. At any rate, all those are loosely tied together. Yeah, there is some cross character referential mentions, but that isn't all it. It's a series in the sense that they're all dealing in life and living, the human condition, human nature, human psychology, that sort of thing as a series. You don't have to read all of them in the series. You don't have to read them in order if you decide to read all of them in the series. If you're going to read a pair, the Book of Kennedy and a short story, Lasting Legacy, are more important or better as a pair. But I said all that to say this. In my How to Write a Book and Get It Published, Hints, Tips, and Techniques, I say be careful what you say about a project in progress. You don't know. I don't know. Let me put it this way. I don't know what may or may not happen from now. I'm only a few rough in chapters into the book that I'm thinking will be a novelette. It could be a novella. It could be a full novel, most likely not. But I'm targeting it to be a novelette. But again, I'm not making these promises here because anything could happen between now and spring of 2026, when I hope the book, the fourth in the Life and Living series by Joseph M. Leonard, will come out. So be careful what you say to people about. Don't ever give away your title. I'm just calling it the fourth book in the Life and Living series for now, to not give away the title. But what I came on to say is, right, oh, I did it again. I said right. Apologies. I gotta stop that. At any rate. So I'm working on it. What I was going to add is I didn't plan on the Book of Kennedy and a short story, Lasting Legacy, and CTP3 as well as CTP4 to be the books that came out in 2025, and especially in the order they were released. That wasn't necessarily planned that way, right? Oh, I did it again. At any rate, anything can happen between when the calendar rolled into 2025, and I still have other books in progress, in the works, that you might then decide, like I did in 2025, okay, the book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem, and a short story, A Lasting Legacy, are the books that are going to come out in 2025. Now, the other ones that are in progress, I'm going to hold and let them marinate a bit longer and ruminate the thoughts a bit longer. But the behind the scenes part here, I wanted to say, probably shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway, kind of bringing you along behind the scenes in the process. Normally, a book will go through various revisions. Understand? I almost said right. Understand? It makes sense. Correct? Ha! Didn't say right. I said correct. I hope I'm getting better. At any rate, yes. Again, saying it on purpose. You go through processes. A book is never done till it's out, and a book is never really ever done. It could always be changed. It could always be updated. There could always be revisions. These sentences could be reworded to be said better. And, oh, I could have put in that, or I would have replaced this with that. A book is never done, but eventually you've got to release it. You've got to publish it. And you can always maybe come out a year or a couple of years later with a second edition, a third edition, where you make revisions. Oh, I could have said this. So now I'm adding this now, a novel X, as I call it, a novel extended, or a director's cut, kind of like Indeed, Terror Strikes coming soon to a city near you, in order to keep the page count down. As a former IT guy, I left out cyber attack issues, concerns regarding, I'm sorry, I'm fudging over here these books. I left out cyber attacks. I left out some other things, some other chapters that would have normally been in a book, but I'm not looking to be, yeah, I'm not established. Let me put it that way. I'm not a Stephen King or a J.K. Rowling or a Tom Clancy or James Patterson or even a Thor or whomever. Me putting out a 600-page book, what I would put in the novel X category, I'm trying to create that. There's short story, there's novelette. Each has a category or a page size normal range to be in that classification. Short story, novelette, novella, and novel. I think a novel should be capped at around 450 pages. Anything beyond that, in my mind, it's over 500 pages is a novel X, EXT, NOVELEXT. Hey, publishers, I'm trying to get that into the nomenclature. Help me out. It makes sense. Today, people aren't used to reading War and Peace. Reading is down because people have the Twitter or TikTok attention span. They don't want to, they will not buy and read 600-page books unless if they're a fan of somebody, been a fan of them for a while, and willing to invest that money, because bigger books mean more money, right? Oh, I did it again there, didn't I? Terror Strikes is a full novel. The page count of the actual story, about 250 pages. The overall page size of the book, about 280 pages. The Book of Kennedy and a Short Story, novelettes. I consciously wanted to keep down the size to keep your costs down so that you're not investing as much, but yet still giving you a full story. And by now calling these or putting these together as part of a Life and Living series, they can all go together. And I'm considering putting those two books plus the fourth in the series, those three together in one novel, a set, so to speak. So if you wanted the three, you could buy the novel as opposed to buying the three. I'm trying to give you options. And as I was starting to say, in my novelettes, in all my books, even Terror Strikes, there is bonus material. I I don't do things like everybody else, although in this case I'm kind of borrowing it from movie makers. You buy a DVD, especially a Blu-ray, you get what? Bonus materials. Well, I include links to online materials that if you want to take a further dive down in these subjects, you can visit online for free, not hide behind a paywall to try to get more money out of you. That's not what's going on there. In a couple books, I put my Billy Idol inspired CJO on Radio Windsor 88, 89X, 88.7 FM. They're now back. Radio contest, radio play I wrote in 84, The Adventures of Detective Idol, IDLE, not IDOL like Billy Idol's actual name. But that radio play was based on, to fulfill a contest, Eyes Without a Face song. So I put that in the back of a couple books. I try to give you bonus material that doesn't run up the cost of the book, though. Again, trying to keep that cost down for you. So these are all just behind the scenes things. But what I ultimately wanted to say is normally the author and editors go through a book and change things before you get the final version for purchase. Well, in this book, the fourth in the Life and Living series, can't give you the title yet, can't give it away. I am foregoing some of the review process. Normally, you review for what? Obviously, spelling errors. And yes, they still sometimes happen. I was talking with someone on my CTP show a while back. He's got a Stephen King early edition novel with errors in it. It can happen. No matter how many editors it goes through, it can happen. If your intent is to get a book just to be a grammar Nazi, right? I did it right again. Why are you bothering? The idea is to get a book and enjoy the story. I don't care about your technical review of la 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 la. There were a couple of run-on sentences, which is like beauty in the eye of the beholder. There's no hard and fast rule of a sentence can only have 7 to 12 words, blah, 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 blah. So run-on sentences are in the eye of the beholder. It's open to opinion and interpretation. Or, grammar Nazi. Oh, there should have been a semicolon there. There's only a comma. Yeah, I don't care about the technical reviews. What about the story? The point is the story. Did you get the point or points? There should be more than one of the moral of the story. So I'm certainly trying to go through, or will, I'm only a few chapters in, when it's ready to actually be edited and really reviewed. check for spelling, of course, and grammar to a degree and whatnot. Another part of the review process is continuity and flow. Does this flow well? Maybe that paragraph belongs in another chapter entirely, or further down that chapter, or further up in that chapter. I am letting you know in advance in the 4th edition of the Life and Living series, hopefully coming spring of 2026. But again, you shouldn't be doing these things promising that it'll happen, because anything can happen. As I said, those books weren't the ones planned for 2025, but they were. And another book I might deem, oh no, this book's got to come out before that one in spring. But at any rate, anything can happen. So careful the promises you make. But behind the scenes, the continuity and flow aspects of the review process, I'm going to be telling everyone who reviews it and that is doing editing for me, lay a little low on that. Some of that, normally they might say, well, this paragraph belongs 3 paragraphs down, or it's a little confusing. The continuity of the flow is better if you move that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Part of the point of this book is life and living, that life can be confusing and contradictory emotions, and determining what is the next best step forward might be a bit distorted and confused and complex, and we don't know. So that is part of the point of the overall book. So if you read it when it comes out and it seems a bit jumbled and confused in the way some of the things are presented, I'm leaving that. That's not a bug, it's a feature, as we would say in the IT business. It's meant to convey confusion in life. At any rate, indeed, let me throw in another right. And how about an and an now that I'm consciously being aware of I'm doing too many of them still. I thought I got better being a podcaster now in my 3rd season. I've gotten better about the ahs and the ums. I still do them on occasion, but this right thing, right, right, right. Am I right? Oh, I got to stop that. That's annoying me. At any rate, that I'm keeping. At any rate, thank you all. Take care. God bless. Love you all. Just wanted to give you some insight, some behind the scenes of the process of how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques. And feel free, if you buy the book and want to reach out, you've got further questions, you want to have a discussion, josephmleonard.us/contact. josephmleonard.us/contact. And again, it's not Leonard, it's not French, it's Leonard without an O in it. Please, I know several who have bought the How to Write a Book and Get It Published Hints, Tips, and Techniques. And yes, I'm communicating with behind the scenes. You would think I'm an author. I don't want more competition. And that couldn't be further from the truth, actually. I want people to get their stories out. That's why I wrote and released this How to Write a Book and Get a Published book. Not just about how to put your book on Amazon. You can read the Amazon help files for that. You don't need a book for that. This helps you conceive and write and how and where to publish and what to do when you're done, marketing and promotion and reviews and let me look. I was going to wrap things up here, wasn't I? But let me, contents chapter, blah, 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 blah. There are 15 official chapters in the book, How to Write a Book, Hints, Tips, and Techniques. And also tinyurl.com/write Write and Publish Supplement, and tinyurl.com/write and publish supplement 2, and write and publish supplement 3, and write and publish supplement 4. All those you can read for free online without even buying the book to help you try to write a book. And maybe you're not looking to write a book. Learning what it takes for a book to come out just gives you that behind the scenes. So again, the bonus material concept, right? Oh, I did another right. But I'm trying to, this isn't, or I joke. Welcome to the 21st century. I'm not Shakespeare. I'm not trying to be. That isn't a diss of Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare. In fact, in the 4th edition of Life and Living series, as it stands now, that I'm hoping will come out in spring, I literally quote Shakespeare in it. I'm not dissing him. I'm not trashing him. I'm not saying, oh, he's worthless. I don't suffer the sin of hubris. Oh, I'm much better than Shakespeare. The times are different. Younger people, especially, expect things to be presented differently. That's all I'm saying on that. And you could see the CTP episode on I'm not Shakespeare. What does that really mean? Where I elaborate that more. Anyway, yes, gone too far. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Love you all.